right, we're back. So, depending on the tutorial project or the learning project that you have opened, you might be facing a different layout, which is totally fine. But check out that beautiful UI. So neat, so demure, isn't it? So, let me get you started by learning what each window does. And if you haven't noticed, these are windows. These are just panels connected with each other. As you can see, you can move them around. And whoops, I've just ruined it. So how can I get back to the actual layout? At the top right, you're going to notice that you can set the UI, the GUI of the editor, however you'd like. So 2 by 3, um, there's the default panel, which was basically how it looked like. There's also the tutorial one, but I've lost it, haven't I? Yeah. My favorite layout is 2 by 3, but then shorted out. I basically took it from a tutorial, I think 8 years ago, and I've been stuck with it ever since, really. Yes, basically 2 by 3. I changed this to one column, and then I get to check out everything at the same time. So, um, let's start from the top left here, right? So in the top left, I'm seeing scene. So the scene basically consists of all the objects in this level that I'm exploring right now. So you can maximize this level and you can explore it before maximizing. Let's talk about what kind of controls can I use to actually explore it. So with by right clicking on your mouse, okay, you get to actually rotate your camera, your scene camera, to look at the different level design or even the game objects within the scene. You get to move around the scene by using W, okay, to move forward, S to go back, D to go right, A to go left, similar to any FPS shooter that you have played before. If you press Shift, just like any FPS, you get to go. You get to basically travel faster. So by right clicking and moving around, I get to explore the environment. The awesome thing about exploring the environment this way is that you can manipulate any object that you see easily. How? So let's look at this Lego piece right here, right? I can simply left click, okay, and then I would be selecting it. Now, if you've noticed, automatically it basically chose the, let me just cheat here. It's called the move tool, yeah? So it automatically chose the move tool for me to be able to move that object. Sleek, right? So you're gonna need to pay attention here because I have a set amount of tools for any object within the scene that I get to control. So in our case, we're using the move tool, but there's also the rotate tool. Awesome, right? Then there's the scale tool as well. But in this case, it's not working for some reason. Let's try another object. Maybe this mountain. Can I scale it? Let's see. I do. Awesome. So I get to, when I press on W on the keyboard, I get to move the object. When I press E on the keyboard, I get to rotate the object. When I press R, I get to scale the object. Awesome. Now, if I get to a scale that looks ridiculous, I can simply press Control Z on the keyboard for however many times to undo the catastrophe that I've done. I can also go to edit and then undo, and it will do that for me as well. It will show me the shortcut. Isn't Unity awesome? All right, so I haven't shown you everything yet. So when I press WER, I think you've started noticing that these things are moving, the tools on the left side, because let's say I've forgotten the key bindings, I can simply click it here to move that object. All right. Now, This I think it's called, yeah, the rect tool is mainly used for 2D stuff. Okay, so like let's say you have a 2D image, you can basically scroll like enlarge it within the x-axis or the y-axis. But for 3D, normally it's not really that used much. Now you've got the Frankenstein tool, which is called the transform tool. It basically consists of everything. So like movement, rotation, okay, and I think there is scaling here as well. Yeah, there we go. There is scaling as well. So the Frankenstein tool here has it all. Normally, you're gonna get used to using the shortcuts WERT, okay, to manipulate any object within the scene. Okay, so we've explored this scene. Now let's go a bit right. So remember when I said you can explore the scene, you can hit or you can click on any object. If you've noticed, clicking on any object here is going to actually direct you to it within the hierarchy. Now, the hierarchy consists of all the objects within the scene. Everything you see here is actually listed down in the hierarchy. So if I click on this tree right here, I'm trying. Yeah, there we go. If I click on this tree right here, I can basically get to its object. Here it is. It's this palm object, okay? And if you look right again into the inspector, you get to see the details about this game object. So I've got this palm tree right here, and I can actually check out its transform. I can move it from here as well, rotate it from here as well, scale it up and down. Oops, cringe time. I guess some of the objects are not scalable from this scene here, but yeah, I digress. Let's look at the mountain again. I get to scale it. Okay, cool. All right, so in the hierarchy, I get to keep the models. Okay, so I get to keep the game objects within the game. Everything that you see here is a game object. I get to also put the audio, the scripts, the player, anything that you can think of related to the game is actually put into the hierarchy. And the hierarchy basically consists first of the scene itself, and the scene contains all of these objects. What is the scene? This is the scene. It's the entire level. Okay? This is the whole scene. Now, if you scroll, go all the way up or down, it's going to go infinitely up. But here you go. We got out of the environment. How do we go back to it? We can simply double click on any of the objects here and it will take us. So, for example, I can go to the Lego models and I want to check out where the alien is. Okay, let's check out where this alien is. I can double click it and there you go. It took me directly to the alien object. Doesn't look like an alien, but yeah. Sorry. Now, we've looked into the scene, the hierarchy, and the inspector. We've looked into the transform. We're going to get into scripting soon enough, but we're not going to do it today. But let's explore the lower half. Yeah. So in the lower half, you get to see the game window. And the game window, okay, basically displays what the gamer is going to see. So, since you're the director of the game, you get to see the entirety of the game, right? But the player only sees a portion of that you choose to show him or her, okay? And how do you get to explore what the player is seeing? You can do that by playing the game. There you go. You hit on play, you wait and wait, and it plays. Okay. Now, in this game, in this basically learning project, moving the mouse basically moves the camera. WASD is moving the player. There's collectibles. Okay, you get to jump, and this is basically what the player is seeing. So if the player got to this point and they ran into this weird bug where you can't really jump all the way there, that means you as a developer need to fix it, right? So let's do that. Okay, let me stop this. Now, anything that the hierarchy consists of, okay? Let's say I've added the player model, right? Where is it? Where is the player? There it is. I've added the player model. We've heard sounds, I believe. I don't know if sound is on or off, but I guess you picked it up from the mic. But you've heard sound, you've heard maybe music, you've seen visual effects, you've seen the player, and the player has textures and meshes and all that stuff. Where do we bring all that stuff from? We bring it from the project. Okay, so as you can see here in the project window, okay, you get to see the whole project itself, the animations, the audio, the materials being used, all relate anything that is related to the game is actually in the assets folder. If you click on the player or any basically model within the game, you're gonna notice, for example, that they have a mesh. Let me try to find it. For some reason, it doesn't exist here, but whatever. Here it is, minifig controller. It has an audio clip, right? There's the jump audio clip. If I click on it, it's going to take me to the assets folder. And from there, I get to see the audio clips that are being used. So if I change the stuff here, they're going to be reflected on the game, right? Because this is a script, and this script is attached on the player themselves. So let's experiment together, right? So the gravity right now is set to 40. Let's set it to 0 and jump. And let's see what happens. Let's wait. Okay. So I'm going to set it to 0. I'm going to jump. And it goes infinitely up. Okay. So what's happening here? Within the script itself, I have some variables that I can edit for the player themselves. And in real time, these are getting edited or basically changed. So the cool thing here is that you can play around with these variables while you're playing the game, and you're not going to need to worry about breaking the game because, again, nothing is getting saved once you're playing the game within the editor, right? So as you can see here, if I set the gravity to 100, now it's going to start to fall. Wow. Now let's set the speed maybe to 100. Let's see. Oh, max is 30 apparently. There you go. She's running like a champ, and I'm dead. But you get the gist of what I'm saying. Going back to the hurdle that we had here, we saw this object right here that was allowing us to go basically place the player here, but once we're jumping all the way here, we're gonna die, right? So the solution is easy. Let's cheat as directors and simply place another platform right here. Okay. Go down a bit. There you go. I think this is enough, right? Yeah. I'm hoping that it's that it's enough. All right. So I'm gonna play it again. Should have changed for me here. As you can see it for the player, I can easily click on these three dots and maximize the screen to be able to see the game in all of its glory. Okay. Now you could just as easily, there you go. You could just as easily change the variables within the, within the inspector, just like how I showed you, to make the girl invincible, like make her jump speed or even like lessen the gravity a bit so the jump wouldn't be that like I could basically cheat in the game. But wait, let me do it properly. So jump speed maybe 50. There you go. I just cheated. But you're the director, you get to do whatever you want to do, right? And I won. So yeah, this is going to conclude getting started with Unity. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more of this content, or if you want to learn more about Unity or game development in general, make sure that you subscribe and stay tuned. I'm going to upload more stuff soon. Thank you.